What's up, guys? It's your boy Illussives, bringing you with another video, uh, talking about Delta Online and mainly the current state of it right now. So, over this week, I've been playing, I have been streaming it, twitch.tv/Illussives, and, over time, I think with Delta Online, it has its highs and it has its lows. And for the first, when the game came out, I was being lenient towards the devs when it came to updates and tuning changes and whatnot, because I realized that they had other things to worry about, like getting registration open, fixing all the issues with that. Um, that's all taken care of, right? But it's been a good 3 months now, almost 3 months. Actually, no, it's been 3 months since the game came out, I believe. And right now, it is doing pretty bad in terms of players. Like, I have to wait until 11 o'clock at night to see how many people are playing. To see like the people that I generally play with get on and whatnot. And most of the lobbies that I see are that are full are UK lobbies. I think there's a higher amount of UK players more than US players, and that's not a good thing because generally US players has always, NA players have always been, you know, a lot higher than EU and UK. But this I think is the complete and polar opposite of a traditional Gears of War game. I'm not saying that I'm glad that the UK players of course have something to play. They deserve it, right? But what happened to the NA players that I see? Like NA East has been pretty low. That I see the most people play in Central or West, and that's about it. Um, so let's talk about some of the things that I think personally that have caused this to happen. Um, Obviously, the first thing, no doubt, if you've watched my VODs, you know it's my number one complaint. It's the Nasher, right? The Nasher, it can be very inconsistent. It feels very similar now to Gears of War 2 than it did at launch, I feel like. Maybe it's just me noticing it more. That and overall just kind of server stability. I feel like every single time I join into a lobby or like get into a new game, my FPS would drop like from like 600 down to like 200 to 300. That is a significant drop that I generally don't get with other games on Gears of War. Gears of War 4, I can maintain a good solid 400 FPS on the lowest, on the lowest settings and whatnot, and I can generally have a good experience. Now, obviously, ping is ping, and I do realize that we're on peer to peer connection, but I think that overall it's been getting worse every single lobby, and I feel like they're doing some update that they're probably not telling us. So maybe that's the reason, but yeah. Another issue is people getting their stats reset. Now, obviously, there's a way to fix this. Just create a backup save. Pretty simple. You know, all good in the hood, right? Um, but yeah, it's something that I really wish these issues were addressed and properly, you know, or at least addressed and to, be fixed instead of kind of, you know, ignored, to put it lightly. Um, the Nasher is obviously the most, is one of the most important guns in Gears of War besides the Lancer, obviously, because most people in FFA, you know, you know, most people use the Nasher. It's one of the highest statistic used guns in multiplayer, far more than the Lancer. And yeah, Another issue that I see that actually I didn't know existed up until this week, up until I played with my friends Kuga, and the rest of the ESS, team and whatnot, was player reports. Now, player reports, you report someone for doing something bad. Let's say, for instance, someone's making like a homophobic slur or saying the N word, or DDoSing or something like that, or cheating, macroing, you know, cheating, simple stuff. I am seeing people report because they're getting kicked. Now, my thing on being kicked is, obviously, I don't care if I'm kicked. I know that's not mainly the rest of the people, but I'm gonna put this in perspective for y'all. Every single time I get kicked from a lobby, all of which has been like only once, generally the host ends the lobby. So yeah, and then starts back up because servers, because the connection's either bad. Um, it gets like it's very cringe to report someone for being kicked. I'm not gonna lie. Very it's very petty. It's like in the people that kick these, these people, um, generally have a decent reason for it. Obviously there could be some people that are just sore losers and whatnot, and that care that much about winning that if you win against them like multiple times and you get kicked, it's like okay, come on now, you're just being a baby at that point. But um, you know, for the most part, I see people being kicked mainly because of what they type in game chat. For example, I was in Kugat's lobby, and or no, Kugat. I looked at one player report, and it was about Kugat, and so, and so, Kugat then defended himself by saying, the person was you know, wasn't playing, kind of like the way that they, that they wanted everyone to play, which everyone was down, and this one dude he just kept on answering over and over, and Kugat told him nicely, let's just make it Nashers only, right? And allegedly words were exchanged. That people, the guy told Kugat to end his life, kind of a thing, and then he got kicked. Do I, you know, at that point, it seems a lot more deserving if you're going to be kind of a piece of shit about it. You know, the proper thing to do is to obviously just switch over to Nasher and just play. And because most people on Dion just want to play and have a good time, they're not interested in sweating and whatnot. Most people just want to wall bounce and hit stupid shit and do stupid shit. The very small percentage of people want to win. If you want a lancer and whatnot, there's 10 mans, there's TDM, there's other modes that and I'm sure that there's other there's 10 mans. 10 mans is entirely meant for competitive players. If you're interested in trying to be a competitive player, by all means go into sign up for 10 mans. It's that simple. But no, they just want to, I suppose, ruin people's decent time. I'm a working man. When I come home, last thing I want to do is get on a game, get called slurs, or tell me to end my life, and then be reported, and then be possibly banned, because you know some guy was being a dick. Does that put it in perspective for y'all? Hopefully it does. Uh, so yeah. Um, and then I would say that the final thing that I think generally, it's not the content. The content's been great. A lot of a constant, game mode, special event game modes and whatnot. They're going to be on rotation and whatnot. Still waiting for King of the Hill Nasher only. Hopefully that comes soon. That would be nice. I'm going to be grinding the fuck out of that mode because you know it's fun. I like King of the Hill, and I like Nasher King of the Hill. I hope it's unrefined tuning. So yeah, kind of my spiel about Delta. Um, but yeah, a lot of inconsistency with the Nasher. Wall bouncing can be very inconsistent. I've had FPS up to 400, and for some strange reason, walls just don't seem to, every single time I want to go to a wall or try and wall bounce, the game will just not register at all that there's a wall there, even though there is one, like that I can slide into, right? And I thought that was fixed. Obviously, it's not. It's been an issue since launch. I still get stuck on things, and it's very annoying. The cover links don't really work all that well. Um, so yeah, so yeah. Um, but yeah, give me what your guys' thoughts on why you haven't been playing Delta Online. I can, I respect that give me some good constructive criticism on why you haven't really been playing Delta Online. I'm curious to read what y'all you know have to say about it. But yeah. Anyways, if you'll enjoy the video, please like, comment, subscribe. I will catch y'all later.